Yo, 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 yo. What it is, yo, salute to my brother Halo in the place to be. Yo, shout out to everybody right now. This is another Raider Nation Unlimited. It's the post game of the preseason. You know, you guys know how I do. Every post game, you know, your brother Wasted will be here with you all season. Salute to everybody in the chat. Pete Carroll is on right now speaking.
Run the ball a little bit in the first half, and it felt like we had reason to be confident that they're doing their job. I think Jordan Meredith has done a really good job, and I think that's way back. If you remember, that was the competition that we were really focused on to see how that would go.
Salute to everybody in the chat. Get wasted with your brother Wasted. Tell a friend to tell a friend. We're going to get this up for y'all right now.
These guys they're really battling, and it is a battle that is not settled yet, you know, and so I think Robbie did a really nice job of making sure that we get a lot of film on everybody and keep moving.
Salute to everybody in the place to be.
Conclusion for you on that. I don't want to at this point. I just want
share
to
this thing out.
Get the reps, and they'll do it again next week, and they'll make their pitch for what is the depth chart order and all that. We'll see what happens. But we like the guys. It's a good group. Very active. They're athletic. They move well. They play hard. And
I'll share this thing out. Everybody on Twitter, you are now rocking with the best.
The competition.
We need to get over 100.
Pete, you mentioned the turnovers. Another interception for Aiden O'Connell. I mean, is that problematic to you at all, or it's 3 in 2 games?
It wasn't a decision that he makes in practice. You know, he made one there, and the guy was really covered well and threw the ball to him on the breakout, and that's not one that we see him do much. But you know, it's unfortunate.
Yeah,
Coach, back here in the back. I was just kind of wondering, these last 2 games have gone down to the last kick or
disappointing to me too, Pete.
Situations. How valuable is that in a preseason game as opposed to say a 28-3 win or whatever in these preseason games?
How we sounding out here, y'all? Let me know.
Valuable those are all of the situations and all of the times that we get to go back, reinforce the things that we've been teaching about situational football are happening, and we had a Mayday kick again. I haven't had one in 20 years. We had back-to-back weeks where we're ready to Mayday the field goal team on the field, run out there and kick it before the clock runs out.
You are now rocking with the best.
We didn't have to today, but it's just really important. It's important to feel what it feels like to be in close games and to hang on to it. And the finished part of the game is something I take great pride in and have always about how you do it, and how you get it done and how you execute down the stretch. And so we have a mentality about it, and we're seeing it come to life, on both sides of the football.
Shout out to my guy, Brave Raider.
And outlast the team that you're playing and give credit to those guys. They did a nice job today.
I reiterate, I know you haven't seen the film, but Caillou Blue just continues to stack good performances upon
Yes, the hell he has.
Will you talk about his immersion, please?
Yeah, no, I can't give you much on what happened in the game today until I see the film, but he's had about 10 days now of really competitive practices and played well against the Niners, played well last week. He's just making a real bid for the playing time. And so, I mean, it's like, we didn't see that in the springtime, and we didn't see it even in early camp. And then it's like the switch went on, and he's taken off. I'm really fired up for him. Man, that's those kinds of stories I love to see guys come out of a backup situation and then work their way through it and start to make a statement. We started him today, and we thought he deserved to start today, and I wanted to see what he looked like with the first group out there. And again, I don't know how he played, but I think you're telling me that he did okay.
First team offense obviously didn't play a whole lot, but 2 deep
shots. Now rocking with the best.
Thornton, one that was pretty close to happen. And is it a positive just to get that on film?
So salute to Hammer and Big Mike. They definitely had a great live stream.
Yeah.
Salute to Hammer and Big Mike, man. They did the Lord's work.
Get a feel for him. Gino's trying to
There's a lot of people that couldn't watch the stream, and they were able to because of Hammer and Big Mike's hard work. Salute to my guys.
I want to see the film again, but we're trying to use them and see if he can come through for us. Okay.
So that was Pete Carroll, everybody. Pete Carroll is in the place to be. You heard, some great questions asked by a lot of the Raiders brass. I mean, not the Raiders brass, but the Raiders press corps. What a terrific job. A lot of the press are doing. I got to salute a lot of these guys. They're doing a terrific job. Salute to everybody, man. Salute to everybody in the chat. We got over 100 in the room. Get wasted with your brother wasted, man. Listen, there are a few things from this. And I'm gonna be honest with you. Look, I wanted to see Aiden O'Connell come out here and actually take this job in the real way, right? And if not, I am always a proponent of going over youth over nostalgia, right? So for me, listen, I like Aiden, right? I'm not trying to run the guy out of town, but we got to be real here. What kind of confidence do you see, or do you feel if the Raiders were to have an unfortunate situation where Aiden had to come in and had to win us a game or two? Right? Like, because for me, to me, the issue was always going and getting I always said, go get a free agent quarterback and draft a capable rookie. Draft 2 rookies. Draft Will Howard. Draft whomever, right? I am going to say this. I think that if the Raiders, there was some trade value for Aiden, but Raiders might want to look into it. Like the thing that's most important is do the Raiders have the guy on the roster that they think can be the guy, the backup? You know, now listen, what you guys got to understand is, right, you got to evaluate the game in quadrants, right? This is a preseason game. So what you're trying to do in the preseason is you are trying to evaluate the team, evaluate individual positional groups. You're trying to evaluate individual players, right, within a team construct. So the way that you win in preseason, or winning or losing, it is not really indicative of a true outcome, because you don't have the starters on the starters. You're not going balls to the wall. You know, it's like, you know, you're trying to get in and get out. You're trying to get some clean tape. You want to see if some of the stuff you've been working on is working. That's really what you're looking for, right? So when the Raiders lose preseason games, the fans in us say, okay, you know, look, yo, this is bull. They should have won. They could have won. Look, man, the one thing that I got to see is Geno Smith look excellent. Ashton Genty is as advertised, man. He was running with bad intentions. He is going to be a problem in this league, man. He is going to be a problem in this league, man. He is going to be a problem. Shout out to the almost 300 in the room. Get wasted with your brother wasted. Tell a friend and tell a friend. The hiatus is over. I'm back. I'm back at it on YouTube. I needed a break. I'm back. I'm back. I'm back. So don't worry, y'all. Don't worry, man. My guy Chris Mitchell, he says, yes, it is ugly behind Geno Smith. Hopefully he stays healthy all year and we're not cooked. Could have had Shador, one of them double third-round picks. Hey, bro, listen. You know your brother Wasted was saying the same thing, bro. You know that. You know that. We all know that. But listen, we can't cry over spilled milk. I'm not the revisionist history guy. I'm not going to go back and cry about what we could have had with Shador and all this and that. I'm not doing that. You know, Shador's a Brown. We didn't draft him. It is what it is, man. You know, I mean, hey, Foster, what you mean, bro? Never a normal moment with this team. I saw what the F you talking about. What are you talking about? It's a freaking preseason game, bro. Relax, man. Shout out to my guy, I Bleed Silver and Black, man. Yo, let's get it in, y'all. Let's get it in. My guy, Nightmare Raider. What's up, Wasted? Rocking that hat like it's about to be a. But listen, man. Listen, bro. You know. Listen, bro. The one thing that you can do is you can pay for school, but you can't buy class, bro. You know what I'm saying? This hat is class, brother. You know what I'm saying? It's preseason, bro. It's preseason. Let's not go crazy. Let's get into some of the numbers here. The Raiders lost the game, 22-19. You guys were all watching. 3-3 first quarter. The Raiders went up, by 3 points in the second quarter. did not score in the third quarter. And you know, the fourth quarter was a little ugly. We got 6, but you know, the things that we needed to see, right? So I feel like when you talk about the Raiders starting offense, what we see is we see a marketable improvement, and we see a team that marched down the field on a San Francisco defense, right? Now, when we talk about the backups, right? You know, Matt Jones was 13 for 16, 135 yards, 1 pick. Aiden O'Connell was equally as bad, you know, 138 yards, 15 for 23, 1 interception. As far as, you know, our young running back, Ashton Genty, man, 7 carries, 33 yards, 1 touchdown. You'd love to see it. Yo, a guy on this roster, man, that has been making strides is Runyon, man. Runyon, 2 receptions, 29 yards. He looked great. This is a guy that might be one of them UDFAs that might make a push for this roster, man. Now, when it comes to the Raider rushing attack behind Genty, man, you know, Chris Collier, 4 carries, 26 yards, look pretty good. Mostert, 3 for 9, ugly. Zamir White, 1 carry for 5 yards. Dylan Labe, 2 for 5 yards. Sincere McCormick, 1 carry for 2 yards. And, you know, Cam Miller got sacked, whatever. Try to make a little run. When you start talking about the receivers, man, you know, Carter Runyon had a lot of snaps. You know, he did well. Brock Bowers, 1 catch, 20 yards, spectacular catch, 1 target. You know, but Runyon had 2 receptions on 4 targets, which to me, I love that. Jack Bech as well. 3 targets, 2 catches, 21 yards, 10-yard average, man. And Quadir Ishmael, man. You know, this is the nephew of Rocket Ishmael. You know, from what I understand, the son of Quadir Ishmael. And yeah, two receptions, 20 yards, 10 yards of reception. Looked pretty good. You know, Michael Mayer, 1 for 11. Sincere McCormick got a catch, 1 total target, 9 yards. Sincere McCormick is making his push to make this roster. You know, in the defensive secondary, man, Chris Smith, the second, showed up, 7 tackles. Tommy Eichenberg, 7 total tackles, 4 solo. Charles Snowden, man, showed up and showed out, man. 2 tackles for losses. Played excellent, man. Terrell Edmonds got out there, got involved in the party, man. Isaiah Powell, you know, these guys didn't get a whole, you know, whole lot of snaps. But, you know, listen, man, when I look at this Raider team, man, look, I am really trying to evaluate these guys on the roster, man. The whole, you know, whether we win or lose thing is not really my concern. Now, listen, man, I have got to give a shout out to the first super of the day, my guy J-Rock 71. It's quite obvious. Still need to find a QB2 and an inside linebacker. Now, bro, do we really need to find an inside linebacker, or do we need to look inside this linebacker room and decide who's going to be the Mike? Who's going to be the Mike? Who's the guy that's going to be the green dot? But look, I don't necessarily think the Raiders got to throw the baby out with the bathwater to find a Mike linebacker. I think that the answer to our problem is in the building. I really do. Shout out to almost 400 of you guys in the room. Get wasted, man. My guy Shalib with the $10 holler, man. Wasted is back. Had me worried for a minute, big dog. Yeah, man. Yeah, man. I know, bro. Been going through some stuff, man, but good to go. We good to go, my brother. Appreciate you, dog. Yo, my guy, Raider Arms, Ayers with the $5 slappy. I was at the game. We held our own. It came down to the wire. It's just preseason. The Niners get to unclench their butt cheeks and move on. Oh, my guy said they get to unclench their butt cheeks. Somebody said butt cheeks. Yo, my guy, Shalib, gifting 5 Raider Nation Unlimited memberships to the masses. Salute to you for keeping the lights on here at Raider Nation Unlimited. Salute to everybody that's on Twitter. Salute to everybody that is in here rocking with me on YouTube. Whomever can hear the sound of my voice, if you have not subscribed, please do so. Salute to everybody, man. My guy James J is in a place. Wasted. This is the first time in a long time we're actually playing guys at the end of the game to see who makes the team. In reality, on a couple of guys playing the fourth quarter is going to make the team. And that, listen, the competition that I see, that's why I am very hopeful for this team. I am not going to come in here and dog the team out, bro. Like I think this team, if I'm being honest, man, is markedly better than the few previous years. I really do. This team it has the opportunity to go at least, 9-8, 10-7. Might sneak into like I see that. I know a lot of you guys don't see that, and this is not Raider Hopium talking to you. This is not Raider Hopium talking to you. This is what I see, man. But bro, the fact that you have this level of competition should make all of you feel very, very hopeful. This is the first time in a long time that I'm like, man, I don't know who's going to make this team in the running back room. I don't know who's going to make this team at wide receiver. I don't know. I don't know. And salute to my guy, Lake Show Raider, man. You heard me on JT the Brick. You sound like a natural. Loved it, man. Appreciate you. Dude, do me a favor. Share this thing out. Share the JT the Brick episode out. Go leave a comment. Let JT and them guys over there know the power of the Wasted Talent Army, yo. Represent for your brother Wasted, man. Please, man. Appreciate you. And guys, listen, the guy that I am very, very happy for, man. I'm happy for Dylan Labe, man. I'm happy for Dylan Labe, man. Dylan Labe has done great, man. Dylan Labe has done great, man. 3 clicks, he goes. The hat may have the gout, but Ghost Spellman, it's with 1 L, man. It's with 1 L. Get it right. The #1 historically black university in the country. Yes. Yeah, I'm representing for Little Wasted. One of my little wasted talents. That's not wasted talent. That's talent personified. This is my daughter's school. You know what I'm saying? And I always rep my kids, man. Always rep my kids. Yeah, my daughter for sure is down there rocking and rolling, doing her thing, man. So I'm repping for my daughter because I know my daughter's watching right now, So salute, man. Yo, my God, Jesus is King. I'm very hopeful in his offense. Geno is light years better than anything we've had in a minute. Glad to see you back, brother. Much love. Thank you, bro, for the $5 slapperoonie. Appreciate, man, all the kind words, man. Appreciate all the kind words, man. Thank you, bro. Thank you, man. So, guys, let's get it in, man. We're gonna go over the games so much, man. We're gonna go over the game. Yeah, Dylan had a great game, man. Great tackle on special teams. Listen, the offensive line, I got to give some game balls. The offensive line, starting offensive line, I got to give them an A. That offensive line, they looked phenomenal. They really did, man. They looked freaking phenomenal, bro. I don't have a lot of concerns with that offensive line at all, man. Yo, and salute to my guy CGR. Make sure y'all pay y'all bar tabs, man. Oh my God. This was a great game. If you look at the final score, that's all you understand. Then you might not know much about this game. This was a great game for the Raiders, for the starters. This is a great game for a lot of the guys that are trying to make this team, man. This was a great game, man. I don't care what nobody says. I don't give a damn. I don't give a damn. I think we played terrific, bro. And look, man, I know it's just win, baby, but the trenches showed up today. The trenches showed up. Shout out to my guy Leaky T. The trenches showed up. This is what we needed to see. We needed to see if Ashton Genty, how he looks out there. Does he look like a guy that might not be, ready for this level of football? And you can see that the guy is going to be just as effective as he was in college, right? Jack Besh. Yo, the kid's getting in and out of his breaks. Jack Besh looks terrific, man. Jack Besh looks terrific, man. Tyree Wilson, man, is light years ahead of where he was. And we got some answers on Cam Miller, man. Cam Miller has a lot of tools, right? But Cam Miller's not ready yet. I don't think he's ready to be our sole backup. So I think what the Raiders definitely need to do, I think the Raiders definitely need to go out there and go find a vet backup. And I think you know, it's time to move Aiden O'Connell on, man. To me, it's time to move Aiden O'Connell on. I don't know about you guys, man, but I think it's time to move Aiden on. I think the Raiders are doing themselves a disservice by not going in and investing and mining the quarterback market. They're doing themselves a disservice because this is a league where your quarterback can go down. And you definitely need to make sure that you have somebody capable enough to come in here and take this team forward. Like, to me, the Aiden O'Connell experiment, and a lot of you guys are saying it in the chat. Salute to guys in the chat. The Aiden O'Connell experiment to me is over. It's over, bro. To me, I'm sorry, bro. It's time. It's time. Time to bring in a vet. It's time to stop screwing around. Time to bring in somebody who has started in this league. And if I'm being honest, right? And I'm going to throw a name out there because I don't know necessarily. I don't necessarily know if Aiden O'Connell is. I don't know if Aiden O'Connell is the kind of guy that can improve from a physical standpoint, because it's a physical problem. It's not a mental problem with Aiden, to me, right? I think it's a talent level issue. And a guy that I would like the Raiders to take a flyer on, listen, man, if he becomes available, I would like the Raiders to take a flyer on Jameis Winston. And I know he's on the Giants right now, right? But I don't know if the Giants are going to carry 3 quarterbacks. Jameis Winston is the perfect backup for a guy like Geno. Yo, go out there and take a flyer on Jameis Winston, bro. 100%. I'm sorry, man. But yo, to me, one of the biggest gaping holes, man, is backup quarterback. See, these are the things that you need to see. This gives you a glimpse into what happens if the Raiders get into some trouble. Yo, salute to my guy, Demon Hunter. My brother, man, Jason Hunter, man, gifting 5 Raider Nation Unlimited Wasted Talent memberships to the masses. Salute to you, man. Appreciate you, bro, for always supporting this channel, my brother. And everybody that is in the chat right now, do me a favor, man. If you received a membership, please make sure that you show love to the Demon Hunter, man. Jason Hunter, Demon King, bro. Appreciate you, my brother. Thank you. Thank you, bro. My guy, Anthony Velasquez with the $10 smackaroonie, man. Great game overall. The O-line was great today and cleaned up the run defense's issues from last week. Only concern coming out of the secondary is looking real shaky. Yeah, man. Yeah, man. But listen, at the end of the day, these are young guys. There's going to be some growing pains, right? And for the sample size of what we got, I think it's more so about we have guys on this roster. I think what we need to do is find the right mixture of guys that are going to be successful collectively. We have a lot of talent on this football team. It is about putting the right group of guys on the field and curating who are the starters. Like that is the biggest thing. I am not with the doom and the gloom here. I don't look at the secondary as a whole and say that these guys are all bad and, you know, we need to go and we need to overhaul this and that, and we're not going to have a good secondary. I'm not looking at it from that prism at all. I'm definitely looking at it from a different prism. I'm looking at it like, yo, we got guys on this right. We got the Paul Miles, Jeremy Chin, with the pick early in the game, right? These are the kind of things that we haven't seen from the safety position in a very long time. We thought when Trevon Merrick was here, we were going to see more of that, right? But with a guy like Jeremy Chin, right, being a tone setter, being a leader back in that secondary, right, I have a lot of hope for how well we do in the back end in his defense, right? I have a lot of hope for Isaiah Palmer. These guys are playmakers. These guys are playmakers, man. Listen, to me, you know, with Porter and these young guys, I think they'll round into shape, right? Cameron Richardson is a guy that is going to make this team. Cameron Richardson is a guy that I feel like has a lot of untapped potential, right? But if I'm being honest, right, the Raiders you know, really need to just play the guys who was playing the best at the time, and not really, you know, lean so much on the potential of these guys. You know, Stokes and all of these guys are veteran players. I would like to see the Raiders to go out there and not close their eyes to the free agent market as well when it comes to, you know, the people in the defensive secondary, man. You know, but look, man, I'm gonna be honest with you. The secondary, I'm not super worried about the secondary, man. I'm not. And shout out to my dog Shalib, man. Bro, blessing your brother with a $100 bomb. My brother Shalib, man. Shalib, man. Said praise to you, my brother, for whatever you've been going through, man. Appreciate you, bro. Thank you, man, for supporting my channel and supporting me always, my brother. Thank you, Shalib. Appreciate you, brother. But look, man, this is evaluation time, guys. So listen, what I want to do is, right, I want to go out there and I want to put some guys right now, because we're going to start out negative, we're going to end positive, right? I'm going to put some guys on the clock who need to play well next week. I think with the Aiden O'Connell, Cam Miller thing, I really think that for me, I would give Aiden O'Connell like probably a quarter, and I would play Cam Miller for 3 quarters next game. I would play Cam Miller for 3 quarters to see whether or not he could be your backup. Because we got tape on Aiden O'Connell. Aiden O'Connell has started in this league. He has a history in this league, right? Cam Miller doesn't. And you have to really nail down whether your backup quarterback is on this roster. You have to nail that down. I can't make it any plainer. You got to nail that down. Because for me, we act like Aiden O'Connell is like, we act like he's some highly touted guy that played well in college, right? And we're trying to hold on and develop something here. I don't know how much can be developed with this cat. Like for me, I think it is a physical. I think that his feet, his arm strength is not great. It's, you know, everybody says he has a great arm. I don't see it, bro. I don't see it. And look, people say it took, you know, it shouldn't take. And I saw that comment. It shouldn't take 9 years to figure out if he has it. Let me tell you something. You know, somebody just said in the chat, it shouldn't take 9 years. It took Geno 9 years. It didn't take Geno 9 years to figure it out. It took Geno Smith 9 years to get the right opportunity for him. Like, listen, when you talk about his time with the New York Jets, this is an organization who allowed a undrafted free agent linebacker to break his jaw. You know, the Jets are a place where quarterbacks go for their careers, go to die. The great Aaron Rodgers didn't even play well with the New York Jets. Like, let's be for real here. Let's be for real here, bro. So that's no indication on how good Geno Smith is. You got Geno Smith starting. You got Sam Darnold starting in Seattle. You got guys that the Jets drafted. Zach Wilson is not, you know, let's see how he turns out, right? But you have guys all over the league, right, that the Jets have drafted. And listen, it hasn't worked out when they were with the Jets and they go other places and it does. So listen, listen, bro. You can clearly see that Aiden O'Connell, we're in trouble if Aiden O'Connell's got to start for us. I didn't feel that way early. I know some of you people are gonna say, hey, you know, wasted. You were saying that Aiden's a capable backup. You feel great about the QB room. I don't anymore. I feel good about Geno Smith. I feel even better about Geno Smith than I did before. But Aiden, and I'm not being a prisoner of the moment. I'm not being a prisoner of the moment. I mean, if I am, you guys let me know in the chat if I'm being a prisoner of the moment. I'm telling you, they need to go out there and address this situation now. Salute to everybody in the chat, man. Get wasted with your brother wasted. My guy, Nightmare Raider. Cam Miller needs to get a lot more burn, man. The reps will do very well for his development. He needs the live reps. We've seen enough of interception O'Connell. Yeah, bro. Some of the decision making, the arm strength, the ball placement is just stuff that, for me, I have a problem with at this point, because it's not like Aiden O'Connell has played consistently, but he has played a lot in this league, bro. And when he's going out there, he's going against guys that shouldn't even make the team. He should be lighting them up right now. And listen, guys, Omni Snow, a lot of people have said this when we first got Geno. There has been a parallel between, Geno and Rich Gannon, right? Because Rich Gannon is the last, great quarterback that we've had here in Silver and Black. He's the last great one, right? One that was at MVP level, that's won an MVP, took us to a Super Bowl. We didn't win it, but listen to me. Let's pump the brakes on the Rich Gannon, Geno Smith stuff. Let's let Geno have a season under center for the Raiders. Let's let Geno make the playoffs. Let's let Geno light it up a little bit for us, right? Because you got to understand what Rich Gannon was. Rich Gannon won a league MVP in a time when Brett Favre was in his prime. He won a league MVP when Peyton Manning was entering his prime. He won an MVP, when guys that can play this game was still in his league. He lit it up. So I'm telling you right now, let's pump the brakes on that a little bit. Let's pump the brakes on that. Let's see what Geno does, man. My guy Cisco. AOC has started too many damn games in his league to throw picks back-to-back games to second and third stringers. Not a good look at all. Yeah. So all of you people, right, who are sitting here and you're looking at the outcome of this game and it affects your psyche, right? And you're saying we should have won this game. I hate losing to the Niners, right? Aiden O'Connell at this point in his career should have lit them up. I'm sorry. Aiden O'Connell has made an appearance. Salute to not Aiden O'Connell. He goes, I'm a starter, not a back. Get the F up out of here. Effing bum. The F up out of here. What is wrong with you? Go to my chat with that crap. Yo, my guy, Martinez 209. Yo, what up, Wasted? Just checking in. The Silver Surfer is as advertised. Now, let's get into some more of that, right? Like, look, and hold on. I'm going into the negative. Yo, y'all frying me with this Aiden O'Connell stuff. Yo, y'all tripping, man. So, listen. When you talk about that, and then you got to start going into the secondary, right? Giving up them third downs and the linebacker play, right? Giving up them third downs are things that are very concerning to me, right? It's very concerning to me, right? So we got to ask ourselves, man, where can Pete and Patrick Graham put their heads together to kind of fine tune, the coverage underneath? I think it's about time, man. I think it's about time, bro. I think it's about time for Pete and Patrick Graham to kind of go over this scheme. Because let me ask you a question, man. Do you guys think that there's a deficiency in the scheme? Do you feel like this is a deficiency in the scheme? And the secondary was getting cooked, and if you really look at it, they're getting cooked by guys that have started in this league. And I'm not Carter Bradley, but I mean, what are you guys thinking right now? What are you guys thinking right now? Salute to everybody in the chat. Get wasted with your brother wasted, man. I'm starting to have some doubts about Patrick Graham as a coordinator, man. Yeah, I'm gonna be real with you. I'm starting to have some doubts. Yo, I am starting to have some doubts, man. Yo, so my guy, James Morrison, I really think we should go out there and get some veteran help in the secondary. Dude, I've been calling for that all offseason. I don't think it will hurt, right? But the thing is, there's like almost like a secondary free agent market that happens after all of these guys kind of get cut after, camp. There are going to be surprise cuts from some high value people that are going to be available next week. Right, when you start talking about the end of the free agent run, yeah, go out there and mine that free agent market. Go get you a quarterback. Go bring somebody in the secondary that's a vet. Right, we went out there and got Edmonds. Listen, Edmonds is a guy that was very highly touted. He has not really lived up to the dream. But it's a safety. I think when it comes to our safety room, I think we're good to go. I have full confidence in our safety room. I just have some doubts about, some of the guys in our cornerback room. And I don't want to run any of these young guys out of here because they got to develop themselves and they have to kind of work their way into crafting a career. But it's getting to the point where you need some guys that can stop the bleeding from here on out. You need some guys that can stop the bleeding, man. Listen, this is my thing, bro. You don't need, even if you're serving up vanilla, simple AF, right? You should be able to go out there and stop the basic rudimentary stuff that Kyle Shanahan is running too. You act like we're the only ones serving up vanilla. That is to me, it's more of an indictment on your coaching acumen if you can't stop the bleeding from an offense that's serving up vanilla with guys that aren't even going to make this league. That's more of an indictment on you as a play caller. Yes, I do think that there's an issue there. And listen, Patrick Graham, when you talk about his performance as a coordinator, it is very up and down. It's never been as consistent ebb and flow. Like people, look, I like Patrick Graham, but we make Patrick Graham out like he's Vic Fangio or something like that. We act like he's Monty Kiffin or something like that. This is not what he is, bro. This is not what he is. I think it's time to go out there and really start evaluating this Patrick Graham thing. And it's getting to the point where, to me, look, man, I'm a big fan of Rob Leonard. I am. And I think that Rob Leonard can be a head coach in this league. I think he is tremendous. Everything he's touched since he's come into this building is turned to gold. I'm starting to get to that point. Patrick Graham is in a place with the $2 smackaroni. Well, I'm not so sure about you as a podcaster, Wasted. You know what? I'm not so sure about me either. I'm not so sure about me either, Mr. Graham. You get blocked the F up out of here. The F is wrong with you coming in here being disrespectful to the Wasted Talent podcast.
Shut your lame ass.
The F up out of here, man. You want to come on here? You want to show me how to do it better?
That's a tutorial that says you know what the fuck you doing.
This is a family show, and you are coming here with your crap. First I got Aiden O'Connell, now I got Patrick Graham in here. Y'all gotta get the F up that. The F up out of here, man. Yeah, man. I mean, but let me PG, you about to get sent to the gulags. Patrick Graham is in a place to be about to get the fake Patrick Graham is about to get blocked. Now, look, fake Patrick Graham. Let me ask you a question. Fake Patrick Graham's talking about RNL for life. So fake Patrick Graham, do you not like wasted talent? Is there anything that I've said that is untrue? Listen, come to the front of the congregation, fake Patrick Graham. What the F is going? Where are you at? Dark City said, not gonna lie, I miss Jack Jones out there. I mean, bro, look, this is the thing, right? You can't hunt with the wolves and go hide with the sheep. Because a lot of us were the same people who were saying that Jack Jones is a liability. Jack Jones don't tackle nobody, right? And I'm going to tell you something. I like Jack. But at the end of the day, I would rather have a corner that bats the ball down, does not allow receptions, kind of sets his edge from the corner perspective as far as making tackles out in the open field, right? Being stout against the run and doesn't take plays off, as opposed to a guy who gets spectacular interceptions. Now, listen, do them spectacular interceptions, are they great? Were they timely as hell against KC on Christmas? Yes. But if I'm being honest, right, I prefer the Nnamdi Asomugha kind of corner, right? Now, Nnamdi was phenomenal, right? Nnamdi he never had a lot of interceptions, but you were not catching the ball on Nnamdi. Jack Jones is a guy that, you know, we say we miss, but if he was here, we'd be bagging on him right now. And then listen, Carter Bradley kind of, you know, he was shredding us a little bit, but this is a guy who was just on the Raiders. He understands what's going on. He understands what's going on. But at the end of the day, man, I don't miss Jack Jones. I think, you know, the thing that needs to be corrected, right, is they need to find the right amalgamation of guys in this locker room that can do the job collectively. And I think we got some answers in this building. Simply, Carroll is supposed to be the guru for secondaries, not PG. Carroll's the head coach. Patrick Graham is the defensive coordinator. That lies on the shoulders of him. Because if it doesn't lie on the shoulders of Patrick Graham, Pete Carroll might as well just fire him now and call it defense. So I don't miss Jack. I don't, right? I miss the swagger. I like Jack Jones, but I don't miss Jack. We need a better option out there. Because listen, guys, this is a master class in coaching in this division. So if you have deficiencies in guys that don't tackle and guys who don't work within a framework of a defense, you got the guys in this division that are going to sniff that out. You got guys like Andy Reid. Andy Reid, man, is on the short list of the top of the 4 or 5 best coaches in the modern era ever. Like, if we're talking the modern era, bro, we're talking Belichick, then Andy Reid. And to be honest with you, you might be just saying Andy, because Andy did it 2 different places as a head coach. So, look, man, I'm putting this on PG. He's been here. They left him here for continuity. They left him here for that. It's time for him to get it right. And I'm sure they're going to collaborate. But yo, this to me, as I see it, this is on PG, bro. This is on PG. This is on freaking PG. So let me ask y'all a question. What are the answers out there in free agency? Are you guys waiting? Or are you going to go and go get somebody acclimated now? Are you going for a free agent guy that might have been like a higher draft pick that hasn't really made it, that's been jettisoned? Or are you going full vet, full like Stephon Gilmore type vet, a guy that you could just plug and play? Because look, a lot of us play Madden, right? It's all about fit too. You can bring one player into a locker room, and if he doesn't fit or if he's a problem, it can ruin your whole locker room. So fit is very, very important. Like we play Madden sometimes. These guys that are out there in free agency, they're people, right? And sometimes some of these coaches, some of these GMs know things about said play. I'm not saying anything about Stephon Gilmore. I'm just saying sometimes these GMs, smart GMs know, like, yo, this is not the kind of guy I need to bring into my building. Full vet but cheap. So I love it, man. Rich, with this secondary, we're going to need to use creative blitz schemes. This is not PG's forte. Look, I think when you start talking about a guy like Stephon, I think Stephon Gilmore fits in at this point in his career, he definitely fits in Pete Carroll's and Patrick Graham's scheme. But Stephon Gilmore is a guy, man. He's a vet's vet. He's a borderline Hall of Famer. I think he fits anywhere. I think he fits anywhere, man. I'm going to be real with you, man. Carroll gets credit for the D-backs that were there before him. 3-4 Legion of Boom was there. 3-4. No, duh. So you go back in Pete Carroll's coaching career. Go back to the Patriots. Go back to the Jets. Pete Carroll has always done well with DBs. Just don't look at Seattle. Look at him at USC. Just, I'd caution you to do that. James Madison, if I had it my way, I would say let's go for Stephon Gilmore. Me too. Me too. Listen, I'm gonna be real with you. You guys, and look, my guy, Jimmy's Barbecue said, they need to quit playing Stephon Gilmore. And this is what we're talking about, Jimmy. Salute to you. We got almost 600 in the room. Get wasted with your brother wasted. Run this thing up to all social media, y'all. We're not even an hour in yet. We need to be over 600. Yo, my take, G-Money Raiders, man. Still need that vet leadership. What side do you feel the veterans need to go on? Listen, bro, I need a vet in the secondary, like your life depended on it. We got vets in every other positional group. Quarterback, vet, right? Wide receiver, we got a vet over there. Jacoby Myers is a hell of a vet. That's a hell of a guy to learn from. That's a hell of a guy to mimic. That's a guy that didn't get his moment right off the bat. He had to work to get his moment. This is a guy that does everything well. He blocks, he catches the football, he goes over the middle, he goes outside. He does whatever. He has no ego. He plays special teams. The guy is a phenomenal vet to have in a room for wide receivers. When you talk about the tight end room, you got some vets, and you happen to have probably the best at his position, as at a young age right now. Brock Bowers, you got Michael Mayer. We're good over there. The running back room, you got Mostert. Mostert is there. I think that's part of the reason why he's here, because you have a young star running back that might need that veteran presence. That's why I'm never the one mentioning Mostert as one of the guys that I think is going to get jettisoned when it comes to the running back room, right? Dylan Laube is a running back, right? But this is a guy that is really a special teamer at this point, right? So we got vets. The offensive line, Cole Miller is the vet of all vets, man, right? The bull of the woods. Max Crosby, the vet of all vets. We're good on the defensive line, right? We good there. We good there, man. Adam Butler is a hell of a vet. Adam Butler's a hell of a vet. It is time to go in the cornerback room, not the safety room, a veteran corner. And to me, Eric Stokes hasn't done enough in this league, right, for me to say Eric Stokes is my vet in that room. I need somebody that's done something in this room. Raider Jimmy with the $2 smackaroonie. Sign Gilmore and Clowney. Look, this whole Jadeveon Clowney stuff, right? I don't necessarily know if that's something that I'm receptive to. I'm not really receptive to that, bro, because the price tag that comes along with that guy is not something that lines up for me. Hey guys, hold on real quick, man. We got a goat calling me right now. A goat. But yeah, man. Look, listen, and I'm talking about corner. I'm talking strictly corner, bro. Strictly corner. Listen, we got vets all in the defense. We got vets all. Listen, linebacker. We just need to really curate the group of guys we're gonna keep. Listen, to me, when you talk about Jamal Adams being a linebacker, I think he upgrades that room from a coverage perspective because he's a former safety, he's a former defensive back, right? And a lot of people say that Jamal Adams wasn't a good cover safety. That's not necessarily true before he started getting hurt. Jamal Adams was an all-pro, two-time all-pro, I think maybe even the first 3 years of his career, right? When he was with the New York Jets, he had one of the highest coverage grades from safety in the league. Jamal Adams is a stud. He's a guy that, I remember the year he came out. He was my favorite player in that draft, and I thought he was going to be generational. But the thing about being a Hall of Famer, right, and the thing about being a perennial All-Pro is it's a few things got to go right. A few things got to go right, right? Like, not only do you have to have the prerequisite talent, do you have to have the drive, you also have to have the good fortune to stay healthy. And a lot of what you see in this league a lot of the times is guys don't get a chance to stay healthy. And then it affects their play. And then we say that they fell off, but we don't look at the fact that these guys are dealing with pain, right? And your ability is your availability. And it's like, are you injured or are you hurt? So some guys have gotten major injuries and rushed back and played hurt. And I think when you talk about a guy like a Devin White, when you talk about a Jamal Adams, that is what you are essentially dealing with. You are dealing with gentlemen who are tremendous players that are now starting to come back from injury and are actually healthy. And then you have a guy like Jamal Adams who has gotten bigger, gotten a step slower, right? Put the muscle mass on and is looking natural. Looking natural. So I listen, I'm cool with getting Jadeveon Clowney, man. Yo, go get wasted with your brother Wasted. Make sure you guys hit that subscribe button, man. So let's get into the corners, man. Let's get into the corners, man. Westwood trying to derail the show with some filth. He goes, Wasted. We need Parsons, case closed. When you draft a running back at 6th overall and add a top 10 QB, it's time to win now. Not 2 or 3 years from now. Go get Parsons, right? The thing with this whole Parsons stuff, right? This is big game hunting at its finest. Look, man. I'm a content creator. I'm a pundit for the Raiders. I speak and cover the team, and you guys know I spend money on this team like crazy. I go to games. I'm tapped in with players and all of that stuff, right? Tapped in with people behind the scenes. So there's weight to some of the things that are being said on this platform. In a perfect world, would I love to have a guy like Micah Parsons on this team? You damn right. The fan in me if we could play Madden and make that happen for and not have to deal with the consequences of the real world, man, I would love to do that. But this is reality. It's reality we're talking about here. The reality of the fact is Michael Parsons is going to get a record-setting deal. Right? Michael Parsons will be the highest paid player at his position. So that's more than Max right now. And that's more than Myles Garrett. And then you got to look at the percentage of your roster that is tied up into two players, Max and Micah. And then you got a whole another part of your team and positional group that you need to fill out. You need to fill that out. So now you got two defensive ends, right? Then, you got to see what you have at defensive tackle. Then you got to see what you have in the secondary. Pass rush should be on point, but then you're still going to have liabilities. You got problems backfilling this team, right? And then the thing about getting Micah, right? If Micah was a free agent, hell yeah. Go get him. Pay him what he needs to, structure his deal, stagger the deal so it doesn't financially hamstring the Raiders, right? Go do it. But that's not the case. If you're getting Micah Parsons, you were trading valuable draft capital and assets for him, right? And we've spoken on this before. This is going to be north of what we gave up for Khalil Mack. North, right? So maybe we're talking 3 number ones and a 2 and a 3. And then I got to pay you too. It don't make no sense. It don't make no sense because when we go into these little iterations of what's going to happen and us going to get this guy and going to get that guy, right? We start thinking about that. We don't ever think about what happens if it doesn't work out. Now you don't leave yourself any room. Now you're dealing with a Christian Wilkins situation. And Christian Wilkins was brought here through free agency. We didn't give anything up to get him except money. So what happens when it don't work and then you need to replace this dude and you don't even have the firepower to go in the draft to do it? What do you do then? We're not there yet. We're not there yet. This team hasn't even won a damn playoff game. That's the kind of move you make when you're at the precipice of winning the Super Bowl. Yo, let's get over 500 first. Hey, Westwood, don't you wish that evil on us, Ricky Bobby. The F is wrong with you, Westwood. The F is wrong with you. The F is wrong with you. Let's say it again. What the F is wrong with you? What the F is wrong with you? Shout out to my guy, Midnight Raider King, with the $10 smackaroonie. Uncle Pete is not done making moves. Remember, his first year in Seattle, record transactions. He is the ultimate team builder. Midnight Raider King. Listen, you guys know, and I don't even want to play this guy. This guy's the jinx, right? But listen.
Yesterday's price is not today's price.
Not even a little bit. We don't know whether that price that needs to be paid, Pete and the Raiders are willing to pay it now. In 2025, that was a long time ago. It's a long time ago. But Westwood, I respect your opinion, my brother. I respect it. I respect it. I don't agree. I respect it. Salute to everybody in the chat. Salute to almost 600 in the room. Listen, I need for you guys to get this up over 600. So listen, guys, I've gone off on a tangent as I tend to do, right? So let's get into the game a little bit more, right? Let's get into this game a little more. Now, when I look at, you know, Jeremy Chin, right? When I look at what just happened, when I look at Ashton Genty, bro, I'm so happy with the fact that we drafted this kid. This kid is going to be a stud, man. I can see it already, man. I can see it all freaking ready, man. I can see it already, man. I can see it already, man. Jeremy Chin, and as far as from a game ball perspective, yo, the Raiders starting offensive line, the Raiders starting offense, A+. The Raiders offense, bro, is going to be a problem this year. I'm so glad that we're not just waiting on the defense to bail us out. I'm so glad that we can keep teams under 15 points. You know, we had a defense that kept a team to 3 points and lost that freaking game. That's crazy. Crazy, man. You know, real quick, man, you know, Max Crosby has some things to say about Ashton Genty, right? Want to see if I can get that up for you guys, man. Salute to Mad Max Crosby, man. Salute to that brother, man. Salute to Mad Max Crosby, man. You know, he has some things to say about. There's some things to say about our guy Ashton Genty, man. Hold on, we gonna get that up for you guys in a hot second, man. Wait, hold on, we gonna get that up for y'all in a hot second. You wait with your brother waits and tell a friend, man.
An oil check for a player, you know, in the preseason, or what do you make of that?
For sure, you know, it's tough. You come into preseason, and you know, I know I have one drive, and you know, it's like I got to go make a play, and sometimes you press a little bit, and it's not exactly what you want. So, you know, the first game, it was, I knew they told me I was getting 3 plays, and then I ended up playing a couple more, and I'm like, then I'm done. You know what I mean? So, first time get back on the field, and then today I felt, you know, even better, and being able to go and make some impact plays was awesome. You know, just being out there with the guys is what it's all about. But now it's getting closer and closer to the real thing. So definitely excited.
That was Mad Max. And salute to everybody in the chat, man. That's still rocking with your brother. Now wait a minute. Hold on. I gotta respond because that is the part of the show that we're in now. We're over an hour, right? Right, yo, another thing too, Dante Thornton, man. Dante Thornton is a monster, bro. That kid is going to be phenomenal, bro. Phenomenal. Gino's going to link up with him, bro. If Gino is upright and healthy, man, that kid's going to have a big season for us, man. Big season for us. 3 clicks. Hold on, wait. So weren't you initially down on Genty? What the F are you? I wasn't down on Ashton Genty, bro. So you got to understand something. Now, guys, this is the problem, right? You have to look at the situation at hand, right? I never was down on him. I said, I'm not sure whether I want to draft a running back that high. And the reason why I said that is because I wanted the Raiders to draft a quarterback. I said, now, if the Raiders get a veteran that's a coherent starter, I'm all for the Raiders going to draft a running back high because we were the worst running team in football last year. But I'm never a proponent of that. I wasn't against drafting Genty leading up to the draft. We were talking about very early on in the process, bro. Very early in the process. And when we got Gino, I was 100% on board. To me, that was the only pick to make. It was the only pick to make. Just like next year, yo, I want a corner drafted early, or I want an offensive lineman drafted early, preferably cornerback. You know, it's guys like Will Johnson that it makes me sick to my stomach that we didn't go grab, because Will Johnson is looking like that deal out there in Arizona, man. He's looking like that deal and a half, yo. You have to call a spade a spade. If a guy has a down game, it is what it is. And that's a fact. And that's not what it was. You know what I'm saying? But look, man, let's get into it, man. Wait, Rusty Nell. Wait, I like Genty, but that's a fool selection at 6, even if he balls out. What will he be worth as a trade asset in a few years? A 3rd-round pick? Look at how valuable these defensive tackles and DTs are. Look, you got to understand something, right? The only player that I would have said, yo, get him over Genty is Abdul Carter. That wasn't the case. If Abdul Carter was on the board, then I would say go get Abdul Carter, right? Because that's a generational pass rusher. You're already starting to see it already, right? But it's not bad to take a running back as long as he is a stud. You take a runner, if you select Saquon Barkley, you've done your job. If you select Adrian Peterson, you've done your job. If you select LaDainian Tomlinson, you've done your effing job. And guess what? If he becomes the bell cow of your team, when it comes to paying him, you pay him. Especially by that time, you should probably have a young quarterback, right? Or Gino will still be on here, and he'll be playing on a team-friendly deal, right? Because Gino, you know, Gino's getting up there. So if you got coherent quarterback play, then guess what? You pay your running back as the premier offensive piece of your team. It's all, the contracts have to be structured based off of the hierarchy of your team, bro. That's what makes contracts work. See, look, the problem, and I hate even bringing this dude up, man, but the problem with when we had Derek Carr, right, was we were paying Derek Carr as if he was an elite quarterback in this league. And we had our Raider rose-colored glasses on. We kept lowering and upping the bar on his performance. When you got a franchise quarterback, bro, an MVP type quarterback, he brings it every year, no matter what. Every year. You put different people around him, he's there. You're moving offensive linemen on, he figures it out. You know, you got guys in this league like Aaron Rodgers who's had an amalgamation of wide receivers throughout his career, right? He figures it out. It's not all of this bullshit about, hey, you know, we don't got this and we don't got him and no burger. It was none of that. You go out there, you perform. Patrick Mahomes every year performs. Can't stand the guy, but that's what he does. So we were paying the guy not based off of the hierarchy of how good he actually was. And that's what essentially ruined the team. So when you have a superstar running back that is one of the 3 best or 2 best players at his position, and he is your number 1 asset, you pay him that way. And you don't look back. Especially when you drafted the guy. I don't understand, Wasted. As if people acting like we have some scrubs in our secondary. Our secondary played a decent game. We don't have any scrubs. But they have reason to be concerned because, listen, us as fans, we have a fear of the unknown. A fear of the unknown. This is what we have as fans. We have a fear of the unknown, right? So we got to see these guys do it in real time. Now, they're going to get their test against the New England Patriots week 1, right? Drake May is looking like an absolute monster. He's looking like he might be one of these guys that has something to say when it comes to, you know, a generational quarterback draft. You got Caleb Williams and you got Jaden Daniels, right? And then you got Drake May. And he's going to come to the front of the congregation this year. He's going to come to the front of the congregation. My guy, the misguided the misguided and disgruntled natural immunity. Only a fool wouldn't have taken Genty at 6, considering what we needed. And natural immunity is right on the effing money, man. Salute to natural immunity with a naturally great comment. And I'm going to be honest with you, man. You know, my guy, T Nipple, my efforts debating taking Genty, LOL. I can see us doing pretty well with Mimbu, but let's be real, man. This is solid. Without Genty, we'd be in trouble. And listen, bro, I'm going to be honest with you. I tend to agree with that. And I think that T Nipple is a very knowledgeable guy, and I got to let him cook. Oh, T to the nip with the fire comment. Toasty Topics, can't tell me we have a good secondary. Chin is the best player we have, and D Porter's a rookie, so he is given a pass. Bro, no one is saying that. What we're saying is it's no time to throw the baby out with the bathwater. This is what we're saying to you, my brother. Nobody's saying that we have a great secondary. Bro, we haven't even played one game yet. We don't know the effort we doing here, Toasty. Your topics aren't very, listen, man. It's burnt, not toasty. The F is wrong with you. Victor R. I agree. The Patriots game will be a big test. Then game 2 versus the dischargers. Yo, my God, Genty was hands down the best player on the board when we picked. Not drafting him would have been foolish. Also, there are people in this chat that would have picked Shador at 6. They real quiet now. And listen, bro, that's no, we're not shitting on Shador. We're not gonna do that over here. I like Shador Sanders, right? And if we would have done that, I'd have said, hey, man, great. Because I think Shador Sanders is gonna be a player in this league, right? But if I'm being honest, Genty is what we needed, right? And if they wanted Shador based off of what happened, they could have had both of them. Now, that's based off of what happened, right? Wasted. Drew Lock cooked our secondary. Yeah. Drew Lock has been a starter in this league, right? The Raiders have a bunch of young guys out there playing their first time, bro. And it's the preseason. It's an amalgamation of guys that they're putting in. And they're putting them in, they're putting them out. What you need to do is, instead of looking at the secondary as a whole, evaluate each player. I haven't done that yet. That's the reason why I'm not giving us a whole lot of insight into the game, because I want to rewatch the game, right? I want to see if Big Mike can get the all 22. I want to really watch each player and watch each play, each snap, to really, really see what we have, because that is what the coaches are going to do. But bro, man, look, man, come on, bro. Let's get off this summer. The years as a Raider fan have made me patient but not delusional. It's going to take more than 1 year to contend in the AFC West. And listen, I think we could be a contender this year. Do I think we're going to win the AFC West? No. I think we can contend in 1 year. I do, right? But look, I am realistic enough to know that I need to see a marketable improvement. That's what I need to see first. If I can see a marketable improvement, I'm good. If I can see us flying somewhere in that 500, over 500 range, I'm good. I'm good this year, because Rome was not built in a day. Shout out to my guy, Arlene Howland. Happy Saturday. You guys are awesome. Raider Nation for life, man. I appreciate you, man. Westwood, no issue at all taking Genty at 6. But once you draft a running back that high, you got to be all in and aggressive, building the team around them while they're still peaking. Yes, you do. And I think the Raiders are. Does it look like they're not building a team around Genty? I mean, they got a quarterback. They got a bunch of wide receivers. You got a generationally good tight end. Like, bro, you got two of the best position players on the offensive side of the ball at a young age on a rookie contract in the league. I think, if nothing else, if not this year, but next year is the year that you throw. We got to see how the team does this year, right? But if this team gets into the playoffs this year, then next year you go all out and you try to win the Super Bowl next year. But I'm not, for the first time in a long time, I'm not concerned about our offense. Not whatsoever. I'm concerned about the middle of that defense. And I'm concerned about the boundaries. That's how that cover 3 defense is. Wide open spaces, but a player close enough to make the tackle or a pick. Fence post defense, baby. I'm not concerned about our offense. We're good there. I think we have the best offense in the division. I think that you're reaching a little bit, Toast. I think you're reaching a little bit. But guys, let's get into a little bit more of the game, and then I think it's time for us to get out of here, right? We're gonna pull the train into the train station. You get double the wasted for half the time today, man. Double the wasted in half the time, man. I mean, what is going on here, man? Man, you know, it is crazy, man. Everybody keeps talking about, you know, Shador. Man, they are hating, they are killing Dylan Gabriel right now, man. Bro, you know what's crazy, man? I noticed this game. Laki Tasi, man, is a phenomenal athlete. Like, for that guy who's never played football to come into the National Football League and do as well as he's been doing is amazing to me. Salute to Laki Tasi, man. Salute to Laki Tasi, man. I mean, the guy's 6'7", 350. You know, I mean, does he have some things that he can tighten up? Yeah, man. But that guy is a monster. An absolute monster, man. But look, man, I think the Raiders going out there and going old school and stocking this linebacker room up is going to pay dividends. And I know right now it's not looking so, but during the season, I think this linebacker group is going to surprise a lot of people, man. A lot of people. Shout out to all my people on Twitter who are watching, man. Get wasted with your brother wasted, man. Tell a friend to tell a friend. I had to take a breath, man. I got to take my inhaler too. Man, do we think that hey, guys, we talked about this. Cam Miller, I don't think he's ready for prime time just yet. I think we'll see more. I think he should be the guy that plays mostly next week. He should play he should get most of that. We know what we got in Aiden O'Connell. I think they should let him play at least 3 quarters. Wasted. I'm concerned about the poor fools lined up against Laki Tasi. Soon, wasted soon. Maybe he starts in a couple of years or less. Hey, man, from your lips to God's ears, I hope whatever Laki Tasi becomes, if it's in the National Football League, I hope it's here with the Raiders. And I hope that they keep him and develop that guy. You don't want to let a guy that's that talented, that's picking it up that fast out the building. I've seen enough. You know, I didn't think that he would be able to be a factor, but the guy is, man. You know, and guys, listen, when you start talking about the Raiders, man, you know, you start talking about the Raiders, man, you know, you want them to get out as healthy as possible. You know, JJ Pegues went down. We have not gotten word on what's going on with JJ Pegues just yet. You know, we will find out. If I find out, I will either do a short or, you know, I will let you guys know what's going on, man. But he jogged off on his own after being down. So I think JJ Pegues is going to be okay, man. He was being looked at by the trainers, man. You know, he was at the bottom of the pile on the last play. And you know, not on the last play of the game, but he was on the bottom of the pile and he jogged off on his own volition. I think JJ Pegues is all right, man. I think he's okay, man. You know what I'm saying? He's another young brother, man, that I definitely want to see, you know, continue to develop. He's a guy that we need to definitely we need to definitely keep an eye out for his development, man, because the Christian Wilkins thing, there's a lot of us because of his conduct, right, that we will sit up here and say, man, it's addition by subtraction. We got to get that fool out of here and this, that, and the third. But at the end of the day, Christian Wilkins, in parts of necessary, has left a gaping hole in his team by not being here because this team was built for Christian Wilkins to be a part of it. And he is an all-pro guy. You can say what you want. He's an all-pro guy, man. Now, listen, there's some things that I didn't like from the game, right? You know, I didn't like how active they were letting Ricky Purcell, man, is either a stud, but he was, man, he was wheeling and dealing, man. You know, Brock Purdy, you know, completed this pass in between triple coverage, man. And on 3rd and 18. I mean, you know, you can't have that. And that's the one thing that, you know, in the first quarter I see from this Raider team, man. Big Mike touched on it when the game was going on. Yo, 3rd and long, 3rd and 18 should never be a freaking conversion, bro. That is a bad sign, man. Bad sign. But yeah, man, listen, man. But it was a good game today, man, as a whole, man. And guys, look, Pegues is all good. Brock Bowers is as advertised. Genty is as advertised. Geno Smith is as advertised. And these are the things I want to touch on the positive of this game. Jack Besh is looking terrific. Dante Thornton is looking terrific. The offensive line held serve. They look pretty damn good, right? Max Crosby is healthy. He's agile, mobile, and hostile. He is going to make some plays this year, right? And yo, Jeremy Chin, man, balling. Isaiah Palmau, balling. It wasn't perfect, bro, but this team is headed in the right direction, man. We looking pretty decent. This team is going to be a team that's going to have to be reckoned with. It's going to have to be reckoned with. This is a competitive team, bro. This is a team that is going to be in every game this season. Telling you right now, man. But guys, listen, I think it's we've been going, and listen, the whole, you know, Meredith at center thing, that's what it is. Pete Carroll spoke on it at the presser. That's what it is. He is the center, you know, and JPJ, and for whatever reason that is, right? But JPJ, if he wants to be a center, work harder, go out there, play guard, wreak havoc. But our best 5 linemen are on the field at the time, and that is good money for us. That's good money for us. So, guys, listen. That's what I want you guys to do. And yo, and Michael Mayer, too, Joseph C., thank you for reminding. Michael Mayer's another guy that gets a game ball. Michael Mayer is balling, yo. Appreciate Michael Mayer and all the strides he's made with his health to come back out there to give the Raiders a great product on that damn field. So, guys, listen, this is what I want you guys to do, man. If you guys haven't seen me, if you haven't subscribed to me, hit that subscribe button, right? We're going to be breaking this game down all week. We're going to go into the injury report. We're going to touch on this. I'm going to start doing some more collaborative efforts this week because we getting back revved up again. The season's starting here. Next week is a game that's going to make or break a lot of people's lives. So we got to be tuned in for that. But God, subscribe, hit that like, hit that subscribe. Raider Nation, if this is the place you want to be if you want to talk Raider ball. Right here, Raider Nation Unlimited. We going crazy this year. You guys have a terrific night, man. I love every single one of y'all, man. And guess what, man? Next week, if you want the job, Aiden O'Connell, Cam Miller, Blue, any of you guys, man. You want the job like my man Simple as F said, man. Go take it. Thank you guys for pulling up. Y'all have a safe, wonderful night, man. Thank you, CGR, for being the man that you are, bro. Love every single one of y'all. I'm about to go upstairs, man, and go lay down, man, because I can't really breathe that well. I can't really breathe that well, man. I'm about to go take a breathing treatment and go shut up for the rest of the night, y'all. But love every single one of y'all. Y'all have a great night, man. Raider Nation Unlimited. I am out. I'm out. Y'all pull up tomorrow, man. I'm gonna muster up some energy to make this stream happen tomorrow too, man. We back at it, man. Like we never left, man. Peace.